Hello, everybody. I'm Robin, and these are my reflections. And today I am here to reflect on the Black Goddess Within Oracle. This is a 44 card deck and guidebook by Dr. Giovanni Washington with art by Marla Warner. Now, this has been picked up from an indie deck and created into a mass market deck by Hay House. I am excited that this is now available to all. It was, I think, just 13 cards before, and now it's expanded to 44. So inside we have 30 goddesses and then um, 14 sort of tools of the goddesses that you can implement into your readings. So I'll just read the back. It says, Introducing the Black Goddess Within Oracle, a 44 card deck and guidebook created by Dr. Giovanni Washington that features unretouched photographs of contemporary Black women stitched into ancient African myths and sites of power, as well as images of ancestral veneration and guidance. The magic, medicine, and mysticism of these stunning cards are intended to help you access healing, call up divine guidance, and honor the divinity within. The intention on the cards is very apparent in the energy of them, and I am excited to be able to say that I finally got a handle on them. It took me a little while because I don't work with goddesses and that sort of stuff. I'm not one to use my cards in that way, but I finally figured out a way to use it in my collection. So I'll share that with you guys as we go along. These are the insides of the boxes. The top, this is the bottom. They're very gorgeous. The imagery on this is stunning, and I always love the insides, the little surprises that we get on the insides of the Hay House boxes. So that's the box. The deck comes in two parts, like I said. So you've got your goddesses here, and I have them separated, as you can see. And then these are sort of your tools, and we'll go through them together. Actually, they're not in order, so I'm going to put them in. So I got them in order. Let's take a look at the book really quickly. Here is the artist and author there, if you want to freeze frame that. And you get a standard Hay House book. It's in black and white. You've got a nice table of contents, which is helpful because although they are in order by section, there are two sections. So if you are looking for something, it's easier to look in here to find the card number. I mean the page number. They also have numbers on the cards, which is also very helpful. In the introduction here, it just says the original Black Goddess Within Oracle deck was a self-published indie deck created in response to the historical vilification of the Black body. Its aim was to change the narrative around Black bodies, women, and people through images of goddesses from all over Africa. By illustrating the divinity, power, and purpose inherent in the Black lived experience, I intended for these images to illuminate Black humanity and beauty while inspiring deep insight and promoting self-care. So it talks about the new version and what they've done to create these images, which I thought was really interesting. It says the women featured on these cards were guided through a transformative process to identify and explore the goddesses' qualities that were already within them. Then the women were paired with a specific Black goddess who they would ultimately meet during a photo shoot. The resulting photographs were used to create the images you see in this deck. We added an aura of magic, medicine, and mysticism using the wizardry of modern day technology. And then you can look on her website at drgiovannywashington.com for behind the scenes footage. Then she talks about ancestors and the difference between a blood ancestor, what she's calling a milk ancestor, and then spirit lines. And what she says a milk ancestor is our milk ancestors are those whom you do not have a blood relationship with, but they have nurtured you in some way. And then the spirit lines include the ancestors who guide you, but have never been human. So the intention that she had for the deck and the way that she was hoping it would benefit people is to challenge the way that we think about Black bodies, decolonize the understanding of beauty and divinity, and to open the heart to different types of Black beauty, and then also dismantle the myths and mysteries that surround Africa and the origin of the motherland and the goddesses that come from there. The goddesses presented in the deck are all African goddesses of different parts of Africa, and her because there are so many different stories about these goddesses, she did put a note on accuracy in here that there are variations, and she's just going to go with the one that she went with. And if just have some grace as far as that goes. She goes into some spreads and she does give you some examples of some readings that she's done for people and sort of how it would play out if you pulled certain cards, right? She gives you an example there. And then it goes into the cards. And in the card section for the goddesses, you get the number, the name of the goddess, and other names that they may be called by. Then, of course, where they're from, which country they've come from, some information about the goddess, and then some of the cards have a if you're pulling this card section, which lets you know sort of what energy you should focus on, and some of them don't. You just sort of have to figure it out. And then there's always an invitation at the end. In the ancestral wisdom section, you get the number, the name of the card, the countries that this wisdom comes from, or that you can find this wisdom in, and then an invitation. Now, there are no keywords in this book, which is something that I think I will be working on as the year goes on, is creating my own little list of keywords and then either writing them here in the book in the extra space that I have, or possibly even just on the cards. Although I do hate to write on these cards because they're so pretty, but I may do it. We'll see how it goes. So that's the guidebook. And in the back, there's just about the artist and about the author. So here are the backs of your cards. Beautiful image of the continent of Africa as the central figure on the globe here, which I like. And you can see it very clearly as if you're looking at it from outer space, but you can see it clearly. And there's this sort of starburst on it, or this light burst, which I enjoy. I like all the yellow. I was going to edge the deck in yellow, but I think I've decided I'm going to edge it in green if I ever get around to edging it. Card, you get a number and the goddess's name, or a number and the title. When we get to the ancestral wisdom cards, you'll see that change. And then you get these beautiful pictures of these women who are embodying these goddesses. Some of the imagery I noticed does really tell the story of the goddess, or whatever energy that the goddess, that the card is trying to draw in. It will give you the story in the background, and some of them don't, and you have to make up your own story with it. I would say probably 70% of them I felt really matched the story, and then the other 30%, I felt I had to find my own way, which was fine because I feel like a lot of these cards I did need to find my own way. And I think that's because I don't do goddess work, and I'm not um, one to be drawing in this sort of energy or working with goddesses in any way. So I kind of had to find my own way because the intention of this deck is to do that, right? So if I'm going to use the deck, I had to kind of take what works for me from it and then leave the rest, which I was able to do. It took me a little while. It took me a couple of months to figure it out. I did watch a review of the deck. I don't normally do that. I'm not going to even try to pronounce these goddess names. I'm not even going to try. I'm not going to be disrespectful. So I'm just going to let you guys see those for yourself. But um, the I did watch a review on Phyllis Santucci de la Fuente, which I will link in the description box below if you want to see it, because I was having such a hard time getting a handle on a good way for me to use this deck. And I did reach out to Phyllis as well, and I talked to her a little bit about it. And we came up with a couple of different options, and I tried a few, and I found my way. And what I have found is that they work really great because the energies are so big for each card, because these are goddess energies. I like to use them for new moon readings. I think I'm going to be using them for new moon readings. And like I said, because they don't have any keywords on them or in the guidebook, I am keeping a little list off to the side as I'm pulling the cards and working through them to try to come up with some keywords that I like for each one, things that jump out to me, and then just working with those. And once I decide which ones I really feel work very well with each one, I'll put them either on the card or in the guidebook. But I do love the diversity of women that we see here, um, different sizes, different ages, different intensities. I love all of the different backgrounds. I adore this image. I don't know what it is about the ocean with a giant moon in the background, but this is like, I love this sort of thing. Makes me feel very serene. It makes me feel very comfortable. I really love that sort of imagery even without the goddess figure here. So to have this woman with this bow and arrow, which I also love, bows and arrows, in front of this, I think this is my favorite card. This is my favorite one, but that's neither here nor there. I think that what they've done to sort of collage this together has left us with some very beautiful images. I like the way that they move, how they've sort of caught them in like these poses, which is kind of fun. Some of them have very striking faces. They look very serious. Um, and some of them look more fun, and I like that about it. I like the mix there. Like she's looks like she's having fun, and she looks like she doesn't play games. um, so yeah, I think that these are gorgeous cards, and I was so worried that I wasn't going to be able to use them because I don't do goddess work. But I actually found a way to use them. And so what I've been doing is I've been pulling one goddess card, and I separated the deck. I think you probably saw when I took it out of the box that I had them separated. So I'll pull a goddess card to get the energy, and then I'll pull one of these wisdom cards with it. And then I brought in another deck because there's only 14 wisdom cards. So we have alignment, altar. And since we only have 14, I wanted more when I'm using it. So I went ahead and brought in another deck to sort of add to that, to sort of supplement it. And I'll show you which deck I chose, which deck I felt went well with it. I think you can also pull in a tarot deck, but I wanted an oracle as well, so I did that. So you have communication, divination, elevation, grief, beautiful, imagination with the unicorn. I love the comet in the background. Again, I told you I love it when the moon is giant in the sky, so these kinds of cards catch my eye. Initiation, memory. The colors are so beautiful. I like the borderless images. Protection. I like this one a lot too, with the fire in the sky. Restoration. She's reading a crystal ball. Rhythm. If you're thinking about swimming, the rhythm of the water, of hitting the water at a certain pace every time you move your arms, every time you move your legs. Source. Beautiful. And that's the last card. Here are the backs one more time. Okay, so this is a typical Hay House matte. This is like their, I guess, satin matte cardstock. It's got a little bit of a glare, but not much. It's matte. And the size, so if you're looking at a regular tarot card, you can see these are slightly taller and a little bit wider than a tarot card. This is the typical Hay House Oracle deck size. They are they're 44 cards, so they're super easy to shuffle. I have small hands. I can bend them and riffle them with no problem. This Hay House stock. I will say that when it gets to be a full tarot card size deck, it can be a little bit of a strain for me. But with these 44 to 50 card decks, I can shuffle this stock no problem. There we go. Yeah. Overhand. And the fan. I think they stick a little. Yeah, they clump a little, but not too much. You can see. So let's pick a card and read from the guidebook. See if we can get one goddess. My favorite one. And one, yeah, we'll do rhythm. Okay, so we'll read these two. I think the way we would say that is ngame, but if I've been saying that wrong, please forgive me. I am not sure. But in the guidebook, this is what it says. It gives you the names and other names. She's from Ghana. It says, wielding her cosmic bow, Ngame directs the life force of the moon into cosmic arrows, infusing them with moon fire, the life-giving energy that animates humans, animals, and plants. She releases the arrows, full of splendor, watching carefully as each bright bolt hits its mark, sparking the soul of the newly born. In an endless cycle of rebirth, she reclaims your soul at death. Older than the oldest, and I think it says a Khan deity. She is the original creator of the mysteries. Without beginning and without end, this creatrix gathered all energies unto herself, giving birth first to herself and the moon, and then to the universe. Stirring her lunar cauldron containing the infiniteness of the universe, she continued to birth the stars, planets, and other skybound bodies. The sun, created last, marked the end of the 24-hour terrestrial rotation. Often, sunrise is considered the beginning of the day. However, she is asking you to reconsider the primacy of lunar power. What if your daily cycle began with the rise of the moon? Pay particular attention to the moon, availing yourself of its power. The new moon is an auspicious time to set intentions, start new projects, or activate collaborations. The full moon is a time to harvest the fruit of the endeavors you began at the new moon. And then the invitation. Move in symphony with the moon's phases. Embrace rhythms and cycles of change. I love that. See what I'm talking about? Big energies. This is something that I think would take me a month or at least a week to um, kind of get into the rhythm of and to implement, get into the habit of. So I love that I pulled this one because this one, not only is it my favorite image, but I told you I've been using this as a new moon deck. So that's perfect. So let's read about rhythm. This deck is really quite tapped in. And the intention of the deck is very potent. I can feel it. And I think that's why I had such a hard time using it in a way that it's not meant to be used because the intention is so strong. But as we do with our decks, we have to find a way to use them within our own practice, right? And so that's what I had to do for myself. Okay, so this one says rhythm. And this is, let me show it to you so you can read it for yourself if you don't want to listen to me. So it says the Baka women who live in the rainforests of Gabon and Cameroon engage in communal musical practice born out of washing clothes and bathing in local ponds, rivers, and streams. Water drumming, found in Cameroon and Gabon, or is it Gabon? Is it French? I'm not sure. Cabin is created solely with body parts and the water itself. Standing waist high in the water, the women musicians transform the water into a percussion instrument by hitting, scooping, slapping, stirring, and moving the water with their hands and arms. Mirroring the pulse of life, the women amplify the breasts of our hearts, playing complicated polyrhythms on the river's surface, which becomes a drum. The rhythms call out to us, infusing spirit and the cadence of our lives. This card reminds you that the ancestors move in their own time and in their own ways. Their pulse is not our pulse. Their speed is not our speed. Always remember that though they work in mystery, the ancestors also always work on our behalf. There is something in store, something being orchestrated in a divine mystical way that is beyond your imagination. So breathe, continue to be in relationship with them, communicate with them. Remember that you carry your ancestors wherever you go, so you can never be out of their time. Invitation. Examine your expectations about time. Consider that the ancestors are always working on our behalf, even when we don't know it, see it, or directly feel it. So I felt like a lot of the times the guidebook really it gives you some information, but you have to kind of make your own correlations here because the keyword here is rhythm, but this is talking about time. And so now you need to correlate how time and rhythm sort of work together. And she's giving you some information there, but you have to pull that together for yourself, right? And I think it takes some time to think on that. And that's why I felt like this is sort of bigger energies that need to be um, I couldn't use them daily. I couldn't pull from them weekly. I needed to think on them for a little while. So that's kind of how I've been using it. So let me show you the pairs that I've been using with it really quickly. So the first deck that I've been using with it is the Onyx Tarot. I find that these images in this deck, in the Black Goddess Within Oracle, really feel bright and exciting to me. They feel interesting and bright. So I wanted something else that was bright and exciting, but also melanated. And this one is that. It is a photo collage and also illustrated um, Black RWS clone, and I love this deck. So I was happy to pull it out, and I like the way it looks. I like the way they look together. So I definitely use this one when I was trying to, because when I'm doing moon readings, I use Ethany's moon. She has like a packet or a workbook that she gives out every year. You can get it from her website, and she has many. It's a they're big spreads. It's like maybe 5 or 6 positions in most of them. So you need more than just one. I usually use more than one deck. So I pull in a tarot deck with that for some of the questions, depending on the question. Sometimes I might want to pull an oracle deck for a question, and sometimes I might want to pull from a tarot deck, depending on the question. So I use this one. Love the way they look together. I love the joyous energy. I just feel like because this deck is meant to really help you raise your vibration and elevate your existence, I needed something that was joyous to go with it, because that is a joyous occasion, elevating your existence and raising your vibration, right? Yeah, so I like this one a lot. So this was my favorite pairing. So again, this is the Onyx Tarot. This is by Sugar Taylor Co. And I will link in the description box below where you can pick this one up if it's something that you're interested in. I love this deck. It's gorgeous. And I love the way that it works for my moon readings when I want to use this one. So after my conversation with my friend Phyllis, and I told you I'll link her walkthrough of this one in the description box below if you want to check it out, I decided to start using it in this way, which really worked for me. So I started to I separated out the goddesses with the wisdom elements, and then I would pull one goddess and then read about the goddess, and then use this to pull which wisdom card can help me embody this energy. What I found was that I loved using it in that way. However, I wanted more energy, more things that could help me. So I pulled in another oracle deck. So I was using the Green Witch Oracle to add to this pile because this is only 14 cards, and I wanted to add to this. So if I wanted to pull one from here, and then I would also pull one from here. So to get the answer to that, what can I do to draw in this energy in my life? I found that these worked very well together, in my opinion. And so I'll just let you take a look at those together. So I would pull a goddess, and then, an advice card basically, and then another advice card. So we've got alignment and gratitude with this goddess whose name I'm not going to even butcher. Oops, I forgot to she should be over here. Sorry. I tried to separate them out really quickly. So we would get a shun, I can say that one, an altar with hope, right? And so I would pull them like this, which I really, this sort of really worked for me because it would just be one of these and two of these. And then, like I said, with the other cards, with the moon reading, they're big spreads. Sometimes I might want another set of cards in here. We would pull in. Let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Give me a second. All right. So yes, I needed more space. So now, I can throw the tarot here, right? And so I have these and an oracle and a tarot or two. And that works out for me. And I like that. So yeah. And another tarot deck that I liked with it, that I didn't use much, I gotta tell you, because this is the Tarot of Bohemian Secrets. I just got this deck. I actually had the other deck by this creator. I forget the name of it. I always want to call it the Happy the gift of happiness or something. I can't remember the name of it, but this, I'll put it on the screen if I remember. But this one is the Tarot of Bohemian Secrets, and I actually just picked this one up because I saw it on Nine Coins Tarot, and I was like, oh, I've been meaning to get that deck. And then she had a sale, a big one. I think they were like $20 or something. So I picked this one up because this is an indie deck. You can buy it on Etsy. And I I wanted to use the other one, the happiness deck or whatever it was, whatever it's called, but it's too bright. It's too bright. So I decided to try this one, and it works. It really does work very well with this sort of spread. So I liked these together as well. Yeah. So those are what I used. Um, if you have this deck, if you have the Goddess Within Oracle, I'd love to hear what you've been doing with it and how you've been using it. Is it working out for you? What kind of spreads are you using it in? What kinds of decks are you using it with? Let me know. The last deck that I really found myself drawn to use this with was the Meraki Tarot. I think it was the natural elements and these cards that was really kept bringing this one to mind, and I kept seeing it in my head. So I finally just tried them together, and I really enjoyed the time that the one or two times that I haven't used this deck too much, so I can't say that I used any of them that much together, but um, the one or two times that I did use them together, I really enjoyed the way that they played off of each other, and I actually like the look of them. Even though the Meraki Tarot does tend to be a little more dreamy, it's still colorful and it still feels very natural. And this one also feels very natural. So I liked them together, and I didn't feel like they fought each other in any way. I felt like they were a very um, cohesive little unit. So yes, look at that source with King of Pentacles, the Five of Cups. They're beautiful together. So I like these. I like these a lot. I like these a lot. And so that was again the Meraki Tarot. Very strange and unusual little pairing, but I liked it. So I thought I'd share it. And that's the last one. Look at this. I love this. The Queen of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. So I can see the natural, I can see a queen. I can see the natural elements, but I can also see the fire here in this snake. So yes, I like this. I like this a lot. So yeah, anyways, that is my last pairing. If you, you also let me know what you guys are pairing this with if you have it. So that is what I have to share about the Black Goddess Within Oracle. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps my videos get out there, helps me know what you guys like to see, and it also helps. I want to share this deck with people. I want people to see it, so it helps YouTube know to share this with people. So there's that. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe. I release videos every few days regarding tarot and oracle. I will put in the description box below where you can pick up this deck and other decks that you saw in the video today if you choose. And until I see you guys next time, stay safe and be blessed. Bye.